So I've tried every agent that claimed it could replace Claude Code, Hermes, OpenClaw, but all of them died in the same way, continuous errors, until you eventually stopped trusting it and just did the work yourself inside Claude. Then today, I tried Grok Bot, zero setup time, and it just worked out of the box. And it made me ask a question that I didn't expect to be asking. Could this actually replace Claude Code for good? So I put it through everything I'd normally throw at Claude Code, and here's what I found. And by the way, Grokbot was literally just dropped by XAI, and as with all of the other out-of-the-box agents and AI teammates, it claims to be a teammate that you can actually give real work to. With the emphasis on real there, it has access to all of your tools and comes back with the results when you ask it to do something. So you give each bot a name. So you've got Chief, you've got your inbox manager or your talent scout, and they all basically have their own system prompt. So for comparison to Claude, just think of this as setting up an agent inside of Claude where it has its own description and its own remit or set of instructions. The difference here though, is that you treat each bot like a specialized teammate, and those teammates you actually chat to individually. Whereas in Claude Code, you talk in terms of tasks you want to get done. And having each of these as teammates, so you have a chief of staff, an accountant, a marketing guy, this has some inherent benefits that I'd actually not considered before. So the first is that every single bot gets a persistent cloud machine. So each bot gets its completely own computer browser, gets its own files, its own logins. So you can close your laptop and the work's going to keep going and you don't need to set up a VPS. That's all done in the back end for you. So we can basically go up to here, hit on this computer button, and you will actually see the chief of staff's own computer screen alongside here. You can see right now, this was me testing it actually going into my school account, and we can actually open this and see its computer screen. So you can give it access to a Google Chrome page. You can go to your file manager and literally give it access to certain things on your desktop and even talk through it through the terminal. And the powerful thing here, right, is the chief of staff has got one screen, and then we go to the accountant and you actually have a completely new screen for the accountants. They all have access to their own computers, much like your teammates have access to different computers. And you can even see that screen from your mobile. Something that Claude has always struggled with historically was giving you access to an actual computer screen on your mobile. You had to just assume it was doing the right things. But now inside Grokbot, you can actually see the actions take place from inside your mobile too. And they've even given you a take over button. So it's going to hand you the screen so you can type in the credentials that the bot shouldn't have access to make sure that it gets into your accounts, for example. So it's like the human in the loop steps. Claude Desktop have been trying to give you this remote control access that's a seamless experience with a computer screen for months now. And from what I've seen, Grokbot has nearly nailed it in their first release. Whereas in comparison with Claude, you have like a cut down version with limited features on its companion app, right? It's not the fully featured version that you get on the desktop. Whereas with Grokbot, it appears exactly the same. But there is one caveat with that, which is it's desktop and iOS app only right now. So Android users like me, we're stuck waiting for that. So as an example, I've set up a few different bots here with different roles. So we've got a YouTube manager, we've got a social bot who interacts with the YouTube manager and grabs transcripts to turn them into social content. We've got a community manager who focuses on my school community, and the community manager has several roles within that. The first is we write a weekly update on the community. So you can see an example inside here where we've written about our new memory system. It's actually going to connect to the Slack MCP. So I told it you need to connect to the Slack MCP and basically help me draft the content for our Tuesday update in my brand voice. So it needs to pull together the conversation threads from our working Slack to suggest topics, my brand voice, and then also interact with that social bot to create things that sound like me and are written in that school brand voice. And we'll come back to how you collaborate in a moment. And the second thing it needs to also do, because we've extended the remit, is actually look at the data inside our school community, look at the dashboard each week and suggest what we need to focus on based on retention dashboard. So in school, we get this dashboard where we can see the number of, or the percentage of people retained versus when they actually joined. And this is quite hard to read. So I want actually Grok to take that data, but to do that, because school has no API, it's going to need to actually use the browser, log in as me, go and find this dashboard, and then assess the data off the back of this dashboard. And you can see off the back of that, it's also created a routine. So it's the Tuesday school update every Tuesday at 9 a.m. And automatically, just with a few prompts here, it's created some of its own instructions. So we do the member update, which looks at Slack, drafts a school post. And then we also look at the dashboard focus, and we're going to basically give it the information of where to go to get into that dashboard. Now, I said we'd come back to what they call connect the bots. So a single chat can actually contain multiple bots at once. So it's like having multiple sub-agents talk to each other. So we have this YouTube manager here, and for all of our own videos, we transcribe those so that we can turn them into social content. So we use a connector called Composio, and we combine that with Notion where all our transcripts are stored, and it needs to interact with the social bot every time we upload a new video and basically give it enough content so it can actually go out and create that social content. So just by telling it needed to interact with the social bot, it's actually gone and exchanged messages, and you can see the conversation history here. Simon set me up as a social bot to work with you. Whenever you finish a new transcript in Notion, message me with these details, and I'm going to turn that into social content ideas, hooks, posts, clips, and threads. And obviously this is very elementary at the moment. I haven't added in my rules around social content, but we can add all of this context like we do in Claude as something like skills that tell it exactly how to create social content in our brand voice, etc. But we basically have a view only version of the chat between the YouTube manager and the social bot. So we've got complete collaboration there where one can delegate to another. And you can even do this to the extent where you've got a chief of staff and you only ever talk to the chief of staff, ask it what you want to do. And if it cannot find a relevant bot to chat to here, it will even go and set up its own bot on your behalf. So you can kind of push everything through this chief of staff screen if you want to. Now, power users of Claude Code have actually moved past the point now of continuous conversations back and forth, which is where routines come in. And it's so incredibly simple to create a routine on Grok Bot here. In fact, you don't even need to say you want to do routine. It actually spun up this routine on our community manager automatically for us because we mentioned that we wanted to do something every single week. So let's go to the expense manager or accountant here. Anything you want to do on a schedule, you can set up by just describing it in chat. You can also click the plus button down here, give the routine. Maybe this is weekly invoice reconciliation. You give the instructions, which are like your step-by-step inside a skill.md or a scheduled task. And then you can add a trigger. And the most powerful thing here, let me zoom in on that, is you've not only got on a schedule, but you've also got on events. So we can trigger things on the back of a Slack message or a Git event. And right now there's a few different options here, a Teams message, a linear issue, but I imagine this will be an expanding list to take in multiple event types. And it will basically replace something like N8N versus in Claude Desktop, you can only do things on a schedule, or you can do things by webhook. And there are a few triggers, but there are some caveats with that. They're much more difficult, whereas this seems really simple to set up. Anytime you want to schedule something based on a Slack message, it will automatically go and try and connect you to that platform. For example, when we've mentioned in the YouTube manager that we want to connect to Composio and Notion, it gives us these simple authorization buttons. All we need to do is click authorize. It's going to open the web page, and then we're going to need to just continue with our account to actually sign into that account. We jump back, and now Composio is completely connected. And you can see that because I'm on the free trial, it says your plan has no included Grok Bot usage. So basically, from setting up those different bots, having a few back and forth, I've already exceeded my limits in the plan. So I'm going to need to upgrade to Ultra to actually give this a shot. We'll talk about the limitations or the other limitations later on, including the price factor, where when you go to upgrade to Ultra, this, as far as I can see, is the cheapest way to do it right now. So if we go to USD, $200 a month, and I imagine this is going to come down over time, but right now this is a barrier to entry because we've not achieved a huge amount. We've got 5 different bots. We had a few exchanges back and forth, set up a few tasks, and we've already run out of usage. Now, coming back to collaboration, say we want to open up a new chat with multiple of these that always need to be there. So say we've got our YouTube manager, our social bot, and our community manager, we can actually then start a conversation with all of those in the same chat. So we have like a collaboration channel where all of them can input based on their relevance, basically. And you can see them having a chat amongst each other because I haven't actually given them a task. They're all just introducing themselves right now. So we can basically schedule anything, and you can see that inside the accountant. If you click on the computer icon up here, we've got the computer dashboard, which we've already seen, but we've also got the weekly invoice reconciliation that happens every Monday at 8 a.m. I've just taken my existing invoice reconciliation from my Claude scheduled task. I created a separate video on that if you want to check that out, and put those same instructions into this. And now every Monday at 8 a.m. this is going to run. The first run, it's going to force me to connect to my tools like Free Agent through my Composio connection, all of that kind of stuff too. But the only thing this is missing is actually giving it deep context of our existing processes, or what we traditionally call skills, right? Now, the first way that we can do that is actually just to create skills in the same way that we create them inside Claude. We just ask Grok Bot to actually create a skill for us. And you can see there are 2 built-in skills. Add connector, which is walking you through connecting to a tool, and learn from demonstration. So we've saved no custom skills yet, but it says we want me to create one for invoices and expenses. Let's do one for invoice reconciliation. And you can see now we've saved an invoice reconciliation skill that any of your assistants can run. So you save repeatable processes, and actually you have your accountant run it, you have your social bot run it. It doesn't need to be in the instructions of that social bot, of the accountant. The accountant can have a wider scope, but actually call upon many different skills. So you can make it more modular, make the remit of the accountant much wider. So like we said in the community manager, we would probably turn each of these individual things, the Tuesday update, the scraping from Slack, the writing in my brand voice, into separate skills that it can invoke from its own instructions. And we change that instruction set through the settings inside here. Now we can come down here and actually click on the invoice reconciliation skill, use when matching invoices against payments or bank activity. And you can see it's quite generic at the moment. It's basically made up the invoice reconciliation skill. But what I'd actually do is go and grab the scheduled task that I had from my Claude desktop app and actually put that in that skill instead. But I can actually invoke the skills in the same way I can use slash commands inside here by actually using slash invoice, and you'll see it's invoice reconciliation and it appears there, and I can type in some commands there. And the second way, which is something that they've also recently incorporated inside Claude, is actually just to show on screen a process and turn it into agent instructions or a skill. So a good example of this is where I cannot access the API for school, or there's no API for school. So I can actually just go up to the computer use bar here, open this computer, and I can hit this teacher task button. I can go directly to Chrome, go to the website that I want it to be part of. I'm going to log into my account here. And then once I've logged in, I can go inside the community and basically teach it to do certain things. Maybe that's go to that dashboard in the settings. Maybe that's like a certain post or comment a certain post. Or actually, if I wanted it to generate and write the post every week, the Tuesday update, I could tell it to do that too. I then hit the stop button up here, basically going to learn from those demonstrations, turn it into a skill. And you can see on the right-hand side, we've got the dashboard of the different cohort retention there. And it can basically turn that into the skill. So there we go, watching the rest now, watching the third demonstration I did for the dashboard clicks, it will be able to turn that into a skill, which is then completely reusable. So whenever I want the community manager, either on a routine or just I ask it to go assess the cohort retention and ask it how it's actually doing, it will be able to actually go and do that on its behalf. So there are multiple ways in which you can convert things to skills, but this is a really powerful way where you've got access to no API or you need it doing it on a desktop app. But basically, without having spent more than a couple of hours testing this 24 hours after its release, it seems brilliant on the surface. The setup is phenomenally easy, easier than I've seen any other setup. Hermes OpenClaw doesn't come near this. It literally takes a minute or two, and it feels like it's doing things really well on your behalf. So there's nothing to learn, and you're basically talking to intelligent teammates that you can specialize inside your specific processes by creating these skills or routines or however you want to set this up. And it can be accessed on your mobile if you've got iOS. You can see that it's now learned from the demo. Third clip hits the Agentic Academy dashboard. It's pulling members, engagement, retention, plus the cohort table, and it's going to turn that into a skill so it can do that on a repeatable basis. Now, because it's so easy to spin up, however, it often doesn't have your context. So it's got no repo, no history, no accumulated understanding of how you actually work. And that's something that you can't just import. You'd have to do that over time. But as you start to work with this, like with all these agents and teammates, it's going to close that gap over time. It will have access to your previous context. It will have a memory of how you worked with it and how you like to work. It will have a memory of where it accesses your brand voice, but all those things need to be built in from the start. And that's exactly what the skills and the screen recording are for, right? But I'm really impressed with the teammate model and this approach on mobile to just chat to those different teammates. I think that's a step forward from where Claude Code is in some respects. So it's faster to start, but slower to probably get right with your context. But it does also, however, have some clear limitations today. So let's quickly cover those. Firstly, there's absolutely no model selection. So whenever we give a bot a role here, we give it a description, but we cannot select model. So model choice is completely automatic. And I think in future, there's probably going to be some advanced settings where we can set up model, but it basically decides model based on the task. So it takes all the thinking process out of it for you. So in some ways, it is a benefit too. Secondly, there's no live voice mode, so you can't talk back and forth with it. You just have to dictate through something like Whisperflow. And the third one, as you saw when we had to upgrade, was currently it's in beta and it's behind a minimum $200 a month plan after the free trial, and the free trial doesn't get you very far. However, I do anticipate that this will quickly change and it will be available for significantly cheaper. So right now I'm going to continue to test this on that $200 a month plan and continue to compare how this sits against my Claude Code setup like for like. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.